Hello, good morning, everyone. Long time no live. Good morning, dear customers. Everyone is migrating. Long time no live video. So, you know that for everything that I do, basically, it's always strategic. So, there's a reason why we're having this live video today, because I would like to address a couple of things that we've been getting as feedbacks from our clients so far, and also to mention a few of our most recent offers. So if you're joining me live today, whatever time you're joining, I want to say welcome. And if you're going to be watching this afterwards, just know that I love you, and we love you, in fact, as a brand. And everything we do, we're trying to look out for the best for our clients. Yes, for everything we do, we're thinking of you. We have you in mind. We're thinking of, how things can go on well. Like the saying goes, they say doctor is waiting for you to fall sick, a mechanic is waiting for your car to develop fault. But a real estate marketer, a real estate agent, a real estate professional is always looking for the best for you, looking for how you can secure a beautiful future, for yourself. So before I begin to mention some of our offers or some of the recent things that we have within our listing, I first of all like to talk about something. I'd like to talk about how to invest safely in real estate, especially in Nigeria. So if you're in Nigerian, here at home, or perhaps in outside the country, that is Nigerians in diaspora, please watch this video and pay close attention to the details that I'm going to be mentioning. So how do you invest? Good morning, Ma, you're welcome. How do you invest safely in real estate? Apologies, sincere apologies. So I want to be back. Okay, so we're back. Apologies, that was a mistake from my end. So first of all, I will say that anyone with the intention to invest in real estate will definitely be thinking about some particular things in mind. Before you begin to say, I want to invest, I want to purchase property, what are the key things that most citizens of Nigeria are looking out for when it comes to investment? And by the way, remember when I say investment, there's a difference most times between you thinking about maybe just buying a place for yourself. So investment basically is always you're thinking about the commercial value. You're thinking about how to ensure that whatever it is that you're buying is going to yield you something either immediately or later in future. So you're thinking about returns, to be able to make interest, to make profits from it. So that's the difference basically between you buying property for your personal self, probably for a living for you and your family, and investment. So it's quite different in a way. So first of all, you are thinking about safety, you're thinking about security. How secure is your investment? So most times, I always tell clients that if I am, because I'm also an investor, of course, so if I'm a potential investor, the first thing I'll be thinking about is the capital I'm bringing into this investment must even be safe. Even if I'm not going to be getting interest from that purchase, let me be sure that my capital is safe. So you're thinking about the safety of your capital, and you're also thinking about the security of your investments to be sure that over years you are still going to be able to find that investment secure. You are going to be making your capital back and also making some returns on your capital. So that is no matter what goes bad in an investment, you want to be able to protect your capital and be sure that there's safety in mind before you invest. Another thing people are thinking about when it comes to investment, of course, is minimal risk. Nobody wants an investment that is going to be putting them in a high level of risk where they can hardly rest in in their houses. The risk is so extreme, and you probably don't even have rest of mind. You don't have peace of mind. You're worried. Anything can come up. Inflation can affect the economic situations, can affect and all. So you want to ensure that whatever you are investing in has as minimal risk as possible, and also to ensure that you don't fall for scams. You're considering the risk of being scammed, the risk of losing out completely, and all of that. So those are some of the things that I know every investor has at the back of their mind. Another thing is the returns, to ensure that they are able to make as maximal as possible returns on that investment. So you want to be sure that you're going to be reaping a good returns from your investments, and if possible as maximal as possible over the years. So everybody is looking out for how they can ensure that they are getting massive returns, especially when it comes to long-term investments. You want to be sure that, okay, if I'm going to be buying time, if I'm going to be leaving this investment for a longer period of time, I'm sure that as the years go by, the rate of increase in my returns keeps increasing, such that I'm sure that I'm going to be getting massive returns over the years. Then another thing people will be looking out for is the sustainability of that investment. How secure is the investment over the years? How sustainable is it? How sustainable is it in the sense that by the time you consider the rate of the exchange rates, when you want to exchange that investment for money, is it sustainable? Is it something that actually matches with the current state of things at that time or at that year that you need the investments to yield? So those are some of the things that every investor puts at their mind. Then of course other things like, okay, you want to be able to have financial freedom in future. So you want to be sure that in the near future, okay, I need money, my investments can always be used as an asset to get me money. So you want to be sure that you are financially free in the future rather. So you are considering the advantage of using your investment as a source of financial freedom. Now this is most likely the thoughts behind investments at the mind of every investor, every potential investor. These are some of the things that they are definitely going to be considering before begin to look out for the possible or the available investment opportunities. Now, what are the elements that will help you to now invest safely? We've mentioned that how do you invest safely. So now, what are the elements that will help you invest safely? First of all, I would say that you need to define your investment goals. You're welcome. I can see some people are joining in. Thank you for joining me live today. So you have to first of all be able to define your investment goals. What are your investment goals? And when you define it, of course, you are considering, is it a short-term investment or is it a long-term investment? So what is your goal? What do you aim to achieve with that potential investment? So is it for cash flow? Is it for capital appreciation? Or is it for a long-term wealth? Or is it, thank you very much, sis, God bless you, I can see, thank you, God bless you. So is it for you to be able to use it as an inheritance for your children or for your generation or whatever it is? What exactly is your goal for investing? Then also you have to be able to choose the right type of investment. So you have to consider, we mentioned in the goals that is either a short-term or a long-term investment goal. So you have to now choose the right kind of investments that will help you be able to achieve those goals. So it could be rental properties. So frequently rental properties fall under long-term investment, packages. So definitely if you're renting out a property, you're thinking about, you might not be considering the immediate return, because whether you like it or not, most rental properties do not give you immediate returns, especially when it comes to annual renting and all of that. They don't give you immediate returns, so you're considering the fact that, okay, your returns might not get, to you immediately. It might be within the period of years, and all of that before you get it. Then you're considering land banking. Land banking is also a long-term, investment package, where you know that the maximum time that you can get, the returns from that land banking is probably 5, 10 years, 20 years. So those kind of investment packages are going to, when you consider the right kind of investment package, it will help you be able to know when to get your returns. So you don't go into land banking and expect that you are going to be getting maximum returns within 2 months, within 3 months. You already know you are on the wrong type of, if your plan is for a short time, you know the kind of property to invest in. Then perhaps maybe things like real estate investment trusts, where you know that, okay, you're investing, in order to be able to get, money back, most likely. Then maybe short-term flips. We have short-term flips. Most times short-term flips are short-term investment properties, where you either use it as a land flipping, in the sense that you purchase land. For instance, you buy a parcel of land for 6 million naira within this month, maybe in the month of August, and then you are considering reselling it within 5 months. You are reselling it maybe for 10 million naira. So within the space of 5 months, you're already getting a total of 4 million as your returns. So those are short-term flips. So you're just flipping it over within a short period of time. Or maybe properties. So some people do properties. You buy property, you either renovate it, or you don't even bother renovating. Just keep it, for a short period of time, and then you flip it and resell it in order to make your return. So those are examples of short-term investment packages. We also have fractional ownership. So fractional ownership basically is all about bringing funds together with fellow investors of similar interest. So if you have colleagues, you have friends, that you all have been sharing the same ideas about investments, you can come together, gather your funds together, purchase properties, purchase land, and then you keep it for, depending on how long you plan to keep it for, and then you begin to consider how to make your returns. Then we also have short lets. Short lets are also short-term investment package. So I'm actually talking about choosing the right type of investment. So we first said in the first study is that you have to define your investment goals. It has to either be a short-term or long-term. Now we are now on being able to choose the right type of investment to be able to suit that goal that you have. Then another step that you need to be able to take in order to be able to yield good returns from your investment is to do thorough research. So if you have a goal to invest and to make of course profit from an investment, you have to do your homework, in the sense that you have to get as much information, knowledge about that investment you're about to go into. So do your thorough research before putting in money into an investment. Check the location, check the kind of property, check for the property titles, check for the history of the ownership of that property. Be sure that you're buying from the right source, and all of the other things. Then also you have to consider the growth potential of that property. So you have to consider the futuristic plan that the government has within that location. So if it's not a location that may yield you good returns, or if it's not a location that the government plans to do anything, then you should not be considering a good yield from it, because it might not yield. So the reason why some people feel bad when they do land banking, they say, oh, I bought land so many years back, up till now I cannot do anything, it's because of this problem. You did not do your research, you didn't do your homework. So that location you bought for might be cheap, it might have been affordable at the moment you bought it, but it might not have good potential of growth. in the sense that there might not be good infrastructural plans coming up in that place. There might not be active developments coming up. There might not be, government plans for that place yet. So definitely that place will just be there. It might be stagnant and it might not yield in good time rather. So if you really want to ensure that you yield massive returns from land banking, ensure that you are working with someone who has done the research for you, or you yourself do the research by yourself, in the sense that you have checked on the futuristic plan the government has within that location before purchasing land there. So you investigate the zoning laws, land use laws, government plans within the area of interest and all of that. So sometimes it might be difficult for you to achieve some of these things on your own, especially because you, of course, most investors have other things they're thinking about. You're thinking about, your work, you're thinking about the family. So the best bet for you, in order to be able to ensure that you have done your thorough research, is to work with professionals, work with a lawyer, work with a real estate investment, wasn't a professional, work with a surveyor, work with people who are professionals on the job, who know how to help you do this research and ensure that you are doing that investment on the right side of the law and it has potential of yielding for you. Okay, that's the final thing I'm about to move into. So apart from doing your research, the last thing is to use the right professionals. Work with a licensed real estate agent. Work with someone who is basically not just there to make profits or commissions and then is out of the deal, but someone who has your investment portfolio in mind, someone who is working with you like a consultant, someone who has enough information and is going to walk you through the whole process, not just after payment is made and then the person is out of the picture. No, someone that will walk you through the process, someone that will give you the right information, the right advice on what to do even after purchase is being done. Work with a property valuer, sometimes work with a lawyer, work with all the necessary professionals as much as possible. So I said that was the last thing. Apologies. So I said if you're planning, I said that was the last thing, but I see a few more things that I would like to add to it. But in order not to make this live video longer than expected, so I will just wrap up some things that I would like to add to it, and then I'll mention some of the recent offers that we have on our listening. So if you're planning to go into a rental investment or a short-let business, you must begin to consider having a property manager. So you must know that it's not just for you to, and reliable one at that. So it's not just for you to say, I think I am good with rental, I want to begin to rent properties out. But do you have a good property manager that can manage that property? Because that is the gap between those that are being stressed in property or rather in rental investment and those that are actually enjoying it. So you have to ensure that you're working with a manager that can manage that property for you, whether short-let or even the annual rental properties. You have to ensure that you're working with someone who is very good with management and also has the necessary information, has the right steps that you need to take. So another thing I said I was going to mention is to verify all documentation. So you have to ensure that even though you are abroad, you might be a Nigerian outside the country and you want to actually invest, ensure that all documents are forwarded to you, scanned to you. You have your own copy of all documents. You have to access and verify all of these documents. You might not be there, but you need to get reliable people that can check all these documents for you, at the right parastatals. For instance, we have Land and Works in Ibadan, where you can always verify some documents. In Lagos, we have the Alausa, where people can check some of the documents to be sure that they are the right documents and they are well documented at the hand of the government as well. So you have to confirm that the building plans of whatever property you're buying is documented with the registry, then the surveys and every other documents are intact. They are not fabricated. They are not documents that will lead you into trouble in the near future, but they are registered and they are valid. So basically, these are some of the steps that you need to take. And I already said it, that it's not easy for you to wrap your head around all these things. It's always better to work with a professional. It's always better to work with someone who understands this thing, because this is their own area of specialty. This is what they have been, they are in business to do. They are in business to bring you that rest while you handle other things. So work with a professional, work with someone that can help you through all of this processes rather, to ensure that you are doing the right thing and your investment yields. Work with someone that is, observing the growth of your investments. So there was a time that my husband used to do, what's the name, stocks, and every now and then he would keep checking how the movements, that's the growth of his investment online. And it was quite of course time consuming for him. So I know that definitely it would also be the same thing when it comes to real estate investments. So you trying to ensure that you are following the growth of your investments might take a lot from you. That's why it's always best to work with a professional. So hand over that stress to them, let them handle it for you. So I've had people in the past that will purchase land and of course not from my hand, maybe people who have told me stories of how they purchased land maybe 12 years back, and because of the fact that they relocated, they weren't able to go back to check that. Of course, you cannot take your eyes off something that you claim to be an investment that will yield you future. Remember, we said that it will yield you futuristic money, and it's an asset that you can of course use for financial freedom in future. And you say you take your eyes off it for 12 years and you're not even looking back to know the state it is. That is a wrong move for you as an investor. You are not being a smart investor that way. So you have to work with someone that can always go back and check and confirm the state of your investment. So now I'm going to mention some of the available offers that we have on our listing. So aside from some of the regulars that a lot of people know, that you can always get land or property that is fully built property or off-plan property from us from anywhere in Ibadan, Lagos, Ogun State, and some parts of let me say Ondo and or Osun State. Basically our line of business is a business that we satisfy different kind of clients from different places, and we try to ensure that we get them what they want from different locations. So it's not just about what probably we have as our direct properties alone. It's about working with our clients' budgets, working with their requirements. That is, what is their goal, what's their investment goal, what is their budget, and what location will suit those goals. So whatever location that we know, for instance, we have clients that reach out to us and they say, okay, they want massive land for agricultural use, and we know that okay, there are some places that may not be directly under our cabinet, that they might not get that from. So we extend and expand our reach to outside our confines, and try to refer them to places like Ogbomoso or your state, and all of those integral parts where they can get some of those things that they need. So I'm just trying to tell you that no matter what you need as your investment plan or goal, we will get it for you. So some of the things that we have, like I said, other than the land, other than the properties, we now have a new investments package for our clients, and it is called Nest, N-E-S-T, more like a nest that a bird has for his chicks. So Nest is basically like it's more like a cashback investment package rather, so such that you save up your money. It's more like you invest your money and you save it up for the period of 1 year, and you receive returns from it. So instead of you opting for savings in your bank account, of course we all know what that results in, and instead of you choosing that option, we are bringing the option of you investing in this cashback offer, where you are going to be saving your money for the period of 1 year, and you will get returns from it. So the minimal returns you are expected to get from it is at least 15%, depending on the units that you are buying. And the minimal units available for purchase is 26,000 naira. So you can save up at least 26,000 naira. You lock it up for the period of 1 year, and at the end of the 1 year period, you get returns from it. By the way, some of the interesting things that this Nest package brings is the fact that your capital, because I know some of the things I mentioned, you have to be sure that your capital is safe. Your capital is safe, so there's safety for your capital, and also your returns, that is your interest, is safe. So we can assure you that when you buy a unit from us, you are getting your returns from the investment, and you're also getting your capital back intact. So that is the important thing you must put in mind. Now, what are we using this money for? So Nest is actually owned by a real estate company that we are currently consulting for, Elysium Company. So Elysium Company is also a real estate company, and what they do basically is they work with different investment packages, both the digital products and also the physical products. So the digital products is the Nest that we are offering our audience right now, and the physical, we have land and properties available. So what we do is that the money that we've gathered from people from Nest, we are using it to, of course, convert it into the development of the estates that we have, and also properties. So you are sure that you will get your money back, because as soon as we begin to sell off those properties, we would be returning the money back to those who invested in Nest. So you are sure that you are getting your money back. So one of the things that Nest is bringing is the fact that it's helping people, first of all, learn how to save better. So a lot of times we hear people saying that they plan to save, but over time, challenges come up and they are unable to actually keep to that goal. So Nest will help you, build that saving culture, in the sense that this month you can decide to buy a unit. Maybe the next month you have access to more funds, and then you buy units, and you are sure that money, you can't just suddenly come and ask for it without waiting for the period of 1 year. So it's more like it's helping you to save money for a longer period of time, in order for you to use it for something much more profitable at the end of the duration. So one of the things is helping people to develop that saving culture, and it's also helping basically it's helping us be able to build a sustainable lifestyle, in the sense that it's helping us be able to sustain some of the projects that we have. Of course, if you want to convert your money into some of these properties, we have that package available also, but it's helping you to build that sustainable lifestyle, in the sense that you are sure that over time your money is going to be put to good use. It's not just going into someone's pocket, but it's going to a project that you can also monitor yourself, and you can monitor the progress of everything that is happening online. So Nest investment package, we're going to be giving you more details about it very soon. But like I said, it's a package that we have just started. It just came on our portfolio, and I really want to introduce it to our clients. So if you have any questions about it, you can send us. I will send full details on our platforms about this Nest package. I know that it's something that you really want to go into, because you can see everything, every details that comes into the whole project will be sent across to our investors, so that they can also monitor from their back end. We already have a particular app that people can use for this. So if you really want to go into this, you can buy multiple units. Like I said, you can buy as many as possible. You can buy more than one, and of course keep your money for the period of 1 year and get returns from it. So I look forward to responses over this particular one that we just mentioned, and any other one that you want, probably land or properties in Ibadan, in Lagos, Ekpe, Abeokuta, Ikorodu, mention it. We are available for you. Thank you so much for joining live, and thank you for your feedback after this live video. Thank you everyone for keeping us in business, and we are here to satisfy you. We are here to meet your real estate needs. My name is Oluwakemi Ojemide, and I'm a real estate consultant. Thank you.